Alright, you guys, it's time for the tier list. Here we go. So we're going to start it off. I am also going to speculate in case we get the Ragnarika, like the insect link archetype dudes. They're pretty cool. I really hope we do get them. Some of the leaks that Decade put out, who is a Master Troll YouTuber who typically has correct leaks most of the time, he says we're probably going to get Ancient Gears this month. So I'm also going to speculate on those, but let's get into it. It's got ABC. It's playable. You could play ABC right now. I just feel like it's probably going to be a little bit too slow. Not like the deck is horrible. It's just not in the best space. Um, Emancipator is pretty much dead at this point, but you could play it. I'm torn between putting Adventure at the bottom of good and the top of playable. I'll put it on the top of playable for now. Uh, Really a bad time to play Chimera right now. You can, but a lot of the stuff, like a lot of your matchups with Chimera are going to be a little bit of a struggle bus. Um, I just feel like it's going to be hard because you just pop all of your opponent's floaters and it's not very good. If we get the Ancient Gear support, I do feel like it could be a thing. I feel like it would be somewhere in good. If we don't get the Ancient Gear support, it'll be like unplayable, but I feel like if we get the support, it could be in good. You got to keep in mind that this deck, recently in Austin, actually had somebody day two at a YCS in like Snake Eye Fiendsmith format with it. Just because if your opponent goes second and they get what they need to bring out the big dude, you might have trouble outing him. Like it can do things. The deck is decent. Um, Altergeist is probably unplayable right now. I feel like it's too slow in the current format. Artifact, even Artifact Lock is pretty much dead right now. I'm gonna go and put that in poo poo. I put Nordics in there as well. Aliens go in there. Ancient Warriors go in there. Arcana Force goes in the poo poo tier. The stinky poo poo tier. This is for the worst of the worst. A Row Mage might be getting support. With their support, I feel like they'll be up in the playable tier. If they don't get their support, then it's still playable. It's still better than like Arcana Force. Like, if someone said, hey, you gotta play one of these decks, I'd probably play a Row Mage. And a Row Mage Valmonica is also like okay. Centurion, we're gonna put in good. I don't think Cent is good enough to being great. Like, I've lost to the deck a couple of times now. Not a bunch, but like the deck is basically make Crimson Dragon, and I kind of feel like that's all it has going for it. I have seen crazy Scent combos, but I just feel like the deck is easy enough to out and just not as powerful as the things we're going to put above it. Bysteel is an engine. We don't have our engine category, but Bysteel's more of an engine. You're not going to play pure Bysteel. So we're just going to kind of leave this down here because we're not really going to rank it as its own archetype. You're not going to see people play Bysteel. You'll see people play Bysteel as an engine or splashed, but not just pure. Outlich, you could play it at this point. I feel like there's better back row decks. I'd rather play Magispector. Exodia, we don't have the support for Exodia. You don't really have Runic out here as much. I have actually ran into Runic a little bit when I got into Master at the very end of the last season, and a couple of times in Diamond this season. I've seen Exodia. I just don't feel like the deck is very good in its current form. If we get the support, I feel like it will actually be playable, maybe up even in the good category. But as we're recording this, we're making this list on the 4th. It's probably going to drop sometime around like the 5th or 6th. So we might get the Exodia support. I don't think we're getting it in this next upcoming pack, but I just feel like Exodia in its current form is not very good. Generator is playable. I actually put it Actually put it like right there. You play Dragon Maids. You even play Dragon Maid Branded, it'd be better. Feel like it's up here. Dragon Link is pretty much dead at this point. You really don't see the deck at all, like ever, anymore. Dark Magician. I'll put it there. Uh, D heroes. So if you're playing like pure Destiny heroes, which I have seen people do, um, I've seen people do the plasma lock. They still have that really decent fusion. It's a hard one. I'll put them in playable. I mean, they could make Dark Law even in D hero. You'll see regular hero, but just that. Like, if I was playing Destiny heroes, I'd probably just rush Dark Law on the board. I'd just be like, Dark Law, Plasma, and I'd just look at my opponent and be like, okay, what will you do? Evil heroes are garbage, though. At least right now. They'll get support eventually. They're better than Arcana Force. Drytron Herald? Playable. Dynamorphia? Playable. Machine Toolbox? It's okay. You're not really going to see people doing it, though. I think this is like the butt end of playable. Endymion is okay enough. Even if Ancient Gear gets the support, I feel like Endymion's still just like, if they set up and go first and they do their thing, you got to deal with all the negates and all the other crap that they put out. I'm gonna put like Burning Abyss over here, and I'm gonna put them there because like Burning Abyss, Phantom Knight, Adventure, Shenanigans, they're still pretty good. You just don't see a lot of representation. Evil Eye's pretty bad. Exo Sister is good, honestly, and you'll have a hard time changing my mind on that. Even in the current format, the ability to just like banish one, go into another thing, banish one. Being able to banish is really good in this format. Not to mention, they're just... The deck is just decent. Like, it hasn't lost anything since it released. I'm gonna put Flu right there and playable. Brandon's so great. I mean, you'll have a hard time changing my mind on that. The deck has definitely seen better days, and if we get a list that hurts it, who knows, but it's still definitely good. Add Ignister. Why are my dogs going insane every time I make a tier list? Add Ignister. I think this was actually one of the decks in like the Shadow Duel tournament or whatever. I think it actually had results, and I've been seeing it pop up still. I'm actually still gonna put it in great because having to out their giant 5,000 like monster is difficult unless you're playing Yubel. Like if you're playing Yubel, then you will have no problems getting over this deck because like, oh, you made a 5,000 attack unaffected monster, still has 5,000 attack. How about you take that damage and you just like ram one of your Yubels into it? It's fine. Hero. I'm putting Hero at the top of playable, and I might even move it up to good. And that's simply because Dark Law is a hell of a card in the format right now. I feel like I say that almost every list, but it's true. Banishing just really hurts your opponent. Fire King, still one of the best decks. Weirdly enough, I've not been seeing Fire King or Fire King Snake Eye as much as I used to. The deck is still insanely good. I put Gig Guardian right here in playable. Even with Dark Guardian they just got, it's still meh, but the deck is fun. Gladiator Beast, they're bad right now. Crystal Beast, pretty much also bad right now. Frightfur, Fluffle, bad. Gem Knight and Gem Knight FTK, bad. Dinosaur variants. Next to Dynamorphia, probably like above Dynamorphia, because if you're playing Dynamorphia, I feel like pure Dinosaur, maybe with a Dynamorphia package, is better. I feel like Dinos actually might be... Let's put them right there. Ghost Tricks are bad right now. Same deal with Evil Swarms. Infernity, bad. Infernoid, bad. So Dark World Danger is playable. I don't think you'll see it, but it's definitely playable. We're actually gonna move Machine Toolbox down to the Stinky Poo Poo. Horse is good. Hasn't really went anywhere, but it's good. Words I would never think I'd have to say in my life. Alright, Ice Barrier. Welcome to the playable tier. Feels bad saying it. Ice Barrier and Ice Barrier Ice Jade together, or even just pure Ice Barrier. That deck is actually seeing a decent amount of play. It's not horrible. Pure Ice Jade, on the other hand, probably butt into playable tier. I'm going to put Chainburn next to Exodia. It's kind of a similar situation. We're going to put DDD at the butt end of good. It can still do things. And it basically makes the board Emancipators used to make. It's not horrible. Cyber Dragons. Shit, I'd rather play Ice Jade. Invoked is bad right now, even with the variants and stuff you can do with Invoked. Ballpark is bad right now. Crawlers are really bad right now. But Labyrinth and good. Inzectors are going to be in the bad tier. Even if they get the Ragnarika support where there's an OTK or FTK you can do with them, they're still like, the FTK is very cheesy. The deck just isn't that great. Madolche. Right there. Under flu. Magispector. Probably right in here. I have made Diamond a couple of times with this deck, and I mean, it's decent. I just don't really feel like it's good enough to be in the good decks. Shizu's dead because, you know, all her shit's banned. Blader's bad. I'm gonna just start putting stuff in the poo tier list that's bad. No particular order from this point on. Bad. Bad. Let's do that. Here, this is pure kaiju. Like, pure kaiju, not as an engine. Pure kaiju would be in the poo-poo. This deck is, like, basically non-existent on the ladder. But it's still, like, playable. Memento, we still don't have the support, so... not good. Manadium. Probably the king of her playable. It's a decent deck, you just don't see the representation for it. Minkonko also kind of like, I mean, like, it's decent, you don't really see the representation for it. It comes out occasionally. It's not bad. Elfos, Monarchs, Mutant, Naturia, even Naturia Horus at this point. Umilok, you're just not going to see the representation where it's basically dead. Novelle, Goki. Numeron's basically dead, but like you could still play it and it could still do things. I'm gonna put it, I mean, I'd rather play Minkonko at this point, but Numeron's definitely playable. Sprite Life Twin at this point is still playable, but it's like, eh. I think I'm actually gonna put Lunalite Tri-Brigade and all the Tri-Brigade variants over here. We're gonna have to start making some hard decisions with the playable tier. I'd rather play MathMech and Friends and like Cyverse and Friends, like general Cyverse, like MathMech package. I'd rather play them than anything below them. They've had some event tops recently. They've been running around recently. I'd rather put Cyverse like above everything in the good. I think even Master Duel Meta currently agrees with me on that, which I'm kind of like shocked by. We're gonna put things in the engine tier. We gotta have an engine tier at this point. There we go. Engine, like snow in front, splashable, snow splashable. Paleo's not good right now. Ogotic's not good right now. Nurseburn's not good right now. Head doesn't spiral, not good right now. We already covered PKBA and kind of lumped them in together. Plunder's bad. I feel like if we're going to put Plunder there, we got to be fair to the Plunder players. And I feel like, okay, our buddy Cyber Dragon's already down there. Pearly's basically like dead. You like never see Pearly anymore, but you could still play Pearly. I feel like it's somewhere in there. Pride Kids are pretty much dead at this point. In fact, we're gonna move Emancipator down. The dream is dead. I emancipated on the poo-poo list. I mean, there's just zero representation for it. Even when, even last format when I was climbing back up to Diamond, I didn't see a single Emancipator deck, and we got to take representation and count for the list. I haven't seen them top an event. I haven't even seen them played in an event. I feel like Rescue Ace goes there. This is a hard list this month. Skull Terrence, I'm sorry, and the poo. Same with Spellbooks. Cosmo, also welcome to the poop tier. I like Cosmos, but not happening. Muskets, same thing. Melfi would be better as an engine. Like, you'd be playing Melfi Sprite. You wouldn't just be playing Melfi by itself. You'd be playing, like, Melfi Vern or Melfi something. We're gonna put Rika up in playable. Yeah, I feel like right there is better. Move ABC down a little bit. So Blue Eyes is definitely playable, and you have like the Magicka decks you can make, or whatever the big fusion name is. If you establish him, it's like, all right, cool. You're not going to see it represented much. I've seen a few Blue Eyes decks. I feel like here is appropriate for Blue Eyes. It's not like super great, but it's okay. If we get the link support and stuff for it, it'll be better. Runic is an engine. You're not just going to see like pure Runic, but you might see like Runic Stall or Runic something. But Runic's an engine right now. Ritual Beasts are bad right now. We already have Gears ranked. Orcust is bad right now. Predaplant is like, you're going to see Predaplant fusion splashed in things. You're not going to see anyone actually playing Predaplant. Splashable. Splashable even a word? No, it's not. Okay. Resignators and their shenanigans. Probably up here. The deck is fairly easy to stop with hand traps, though. Ooh, Raid Raptor. We didn't do Raid Raptor justice. Raid Raptor is... They just basically make a monster that's basically a towers. It's like a towers deck. If you don't know what I'm referring to with towers, I mean Clevefold towers. That's... People used to just say, oh, it's a towers. Back in the day, anything that's like unaffected and giant. That can play through a couple of hand traps, too. I actually rather play it than Pearly at this point. I do beat it a lot as Magispector, but only if I'm going first. If I'm going second, I get just smash. I think I actually put Raid Raptor up pretty high in the playable tier. Like, the deck has earned its spot. You're not going to see it very much, but just Raid Raptor things. Scareclaw's a deck probably here, but I see it more as like an engine right now. Yeah, Sky Striker is finally going in the poop tier. It's just not happening, Sky Striker players. I'm sorry, your deck is bad. Let's clean this up a little bit. We're gonna have to make some hard choices. This belongs, this belongs, this belongs, this belongs, this belongs. I still see that, still see that, still see that occasionally. Not recently, but occasionally. All that's fine. Yeah, I love Gate Guardian, but based on representation, like the deck, you could play the deck in the format. I just don't feel like you're gonna see it all. I feel like if I'm taking representation into account, it's gotta go to the poo tier. I feel like actually with the current meta and how many floats and how you can outfloat things, I actually think I'm gonna put Lunalight Try and Lyric Try down in the poo tier as well. You have like a single negate with Dark Worlds. You can set up a couple of things with board. Yeah, Danger's an engine. I'm definitely gonna keep GK up here because if GK like a step goes first and establishes the floodgates, the shenanigans will happen. I actually did lose a couple games to GK on the ladder just because I got a bad hand and they opened great and the Necro Valley just did me in. Cash is more like a splashable engine right now, but if you were gonna play Cash like by itself, I might actually put it like in the good category just because a Rise Heart is a walking floodgate. I'm gonna put Blackwing next to Resonators. Shadow is bad. Even as an engine, it's bad. S-Force bad. Ojama bad. Tunes bad. Volcanics playable. Speedroid playable. Weather bad. Thunder Dragons playable. Let's actually be yeah, Volcanics, I'm sorry, you gotta go in poo-poo tier. We're being fair here. Speedroids, at least in the current meta. Yeah, they can stay. Pride Stangling over there. Lots and lots of trains bad right now. Can't even remember. Time Lords, that's what they're. Time Lords. Time Lords, bad. Tier Elements, actually gonna go up in great. And put them right. Put them right there. This deck has had a huge resurgence, and it's annoying, and you can deal with it. It's not the worst thing to play against, but it deserves its seat at the table at this point. Subterra is bad. Super Quantum bad. Constellar, Teller Knight shenanigans bad. Sword Soul. Put Sword Soul right there. You can play it. 6 AM bad. Snake Eye and Friends. Most of the time you're gonna see Snake Eye, Fire King. You're not gonna see pure Snake Eye. If it's pure Snake Eye, I would probably put it like here-ish. But if it's Snake Eye Fire King, it's it's better. Unchained, I mainly see more like an engine right now. The deck itself, I don't feel like is very good. I feel like if you can play it and you have a lot of floats, I feel like it's more of an engine. In terms of engines, be real. If you're using Melfi as an engine, it's not a very good engine. Yeah, Zoo Try, bad. U-Bell, best deck of the format along with Snake Eye Fire King. Probably more representation, so probably put it up there at this point. Yang Zings are bad. Winwich, bad. Lineup, bad. Punk is probably one of the best engines in the game, but like not right now, but it's still just a very stable, very decent engine, so. Spiral, bad right now. I feel like if we're gonna put Endymion in here, we have to put Sam's in here. Tenyi would be better. Tenyi is more like an engine that you'll play with Sorcel, but like Tenyis by themselves are bad. Bad, 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 bad. Zeus Turbo, even with 3 Zeus right now, still bad. Bad, 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 bad. Rockets, bad. Wait, no, that's not ancient. That's scrap. Scrap, bad. 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 This is an engine. You'll see Therion splashed in things too. Bad. We'll put Vanquish in playable. Already covered Scareclaw, Visa Starcrossed and Friends. VW is bad right now. Zombies, pretty much every zombie variant's not gonna cut it right now. Smorg is bad. Trap checks right now. Yeah, no, poo tier. Already covered Cyverse. I feel like Salad's the weakest of them, and Salad would probably be like maybe at the ass end of playable. We already covered Springen. Well, no, we didn't cover Springens. Pure Springens are terrible. The only Springen card you ever see is like Kit to be in branded to get you like an extra card. I already covered Cyverse and Friends. Dark Lord's bad. Despia at this point is like bad. No one's actually gonna play like pure Despia or even Despia branded. You'll see Alabar. You'll see like Alabar and maybe the one other Despia card, but Despia as a whole is kind of in the toilet right now. Trickstars are bad. Tri-Pri is bad. Photons are bad. I'm actually gonna take Dry Charn Herald and put it in bad right now too. We're gonna have to make some more tough decisions with the playable tier. Yeah, Dark Magician goes in bad. Sorry, Dark Magician players, your deck is bad. That moves down. So Gold Pride, you'd be paying like Gold Pride Punk. And Gold Pride is more like an engine. Valmonica? You play Valmonica. It's not the worst deck. Shit, I take Valmonica over Speedroids. Voiceless is a hard call. I want to put Voiceless in Great. I feel like it belongs right here at the button of Great. But having played Voiceless for a couple formats, or a format as my main deck, I did hit Master with it. I feel like the deck is fragile just as someone that plays Voiceless. I feel like it can be outed kind of easily. I feel like it belongs in Good over Great. Pendulums are kind of in the toilet right now. Generic pendulums. If we get Rag, I feel like Rag's gonna be better as an engine. I feel like it's gonna be a very strong engine. So I'll probably put it over here. And we'll see. But that is your tier list. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. If I did, leave a comment down below. And if you are commenting something I forget, don't like tell me I forgot to rank some archetype from like a million years ago. Like, don't tell me to rank Dotsu, Sotsu, Kotsu. It's not gonna happen. But yeah. And oh yeah, we actually have a sponsor this month. So we are sponsored by Dubby. You can go down below in the description, click the link. If you like energy drinks, I highly recommend Dubby. They are great. You get 20% off now with code SirLargeGaming. It'll be in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.